My question is, it's a bit a practical one actually. So I used to always focus in the body and be within. And then then I realized the space and how powerful the space was and the magic in the space and the source, etc. And then after your retreat, it was just like, just so alive, the space. And it was just like holding everything. And it was just amazing. But now when I listen to, I don't know, podcasts or meditation, etc., people are always saying, and you said, be in the body. So like my practical question is, well, I've realized this amazing space that's magical and is just so alive. So then when I'm told to go back into the body, I sometimes just get a bit confused, but then sometimes the body and space is one anyway. But I wonder why the instruction is always to go in the body when this space is so thick and
Oh,
rich.
that's such a beautiful question. Thank you. It's so beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Okay, give me a moment. Mm. Okay, let's put it like this. In past teachings of this message, in the beginning of this teaching coming through, it was coming through in a way that was quite, I call it the masculine way of pointing always to the absolute. So the absolute space you're referring to, absolute awareness, always free, right, always pointing to this. And there was never any inclusion of this human form. So there was kind of like we saw a lot of disassociation happen. So you see many that were like, I know who I am as absolute awareness, and yet the body mind is still behaving in ways that belong to a dysfunctional being, a human being, you know, patterned and programmed and behaving in ways that are just not aligned to this absolute awareness. Because this absoluteness, to give it a word, or the quality of aware, is that which sees. But then when it's not, I have to try to slow down in my speaking. When it's not coming through each and every behavior, if the behaviors are not being updated by that which sees, then the behaviors are still belonging to the old self-identity, and there's a disassociation from the recognition of I am, pure awareness, and this, what we call personal. It's like they are two different. And in the beginning of these teachings, like how it was, I've always, since I started sharing this 20 odd years ago, I was always screaming. I mean, I guess maybe because this feminine body was always like, you know, feeling everything. God, I couldn't, it didn't resonate ever for me that to be a denial of the emotional world, or of feelings, or of sensation, or of this whole thing here, to deny that and say that it's all just drama and I'm absolute awareness that's over here. For me, it just never worked from day one. And so when I very first started sharing, it was the way I was living it. You know, because that question came very alive in myself. So now, okay, this recognition is here. I know absolutely what I am, and nothing can ever touch this. This is absolutely free. But now something triggers the system, and there's an activation, and there's anger, right? Now what do I do with this? Because I'm absolute awareness. What am I going to, who's angry? So when this first, and this was all activating in me in the very same moment recognition was coming in. And the question was always, how does this come together? Right? And at that time, like way many years ago, there was no teacher who I could ask about this or was talking about it. And through my own inquiry and what made me even start speaking, it was clear that this anger has to be fully met, fully entered. He, as the masculine, absolute awareness, has to enter her fully. Her as the feeling arising, the energy arising, the play of appearance, he has to enter her before the lovemaking can begin. You know, and that in a way, it's like a way of saying that there's no integration of this absolute recognition into the human form until this process is happening. Otherwise, you're always going to have this experience or this experience. There's no embodiment. It's not in the body. The recognition is not in the body. The body is still belonging to this personal story. So when they say to what you're hearing, I don't know what podcast you're listening, but if it's telling you to come to the body, it's inviting you to bring awareness to be present in this form. In this form. So when an activation happens and something triggers your body mind, now, in this moment, know it right now. Know who you are. Know this I am direct experience of wide open free space in the midst of this, not just when it's like this. Yeah. So when that is you're knowing yourself right in the middle of human experience, now you're walking in and you can redirect your responses, where you come from, your alignment to this absolute knowing, rather than just old behaviors of trauma. So here comes integration, embodiment. Huh? And this is so beautiful, this question. Thank you so much for getting me to come here to this bit. Is it clear?
Yeah, that's very clear. So then can I ask, what if you're not being triggered? What if you feel fine? Would you rest in the body still, or would you rest in the space? Or
Well,
both?
you know, if I just look within my own experience, it's like it's always both. There is no in or out.
So as one, it's all connected, you're saying, or
Yeah. There's no separation anywhere. There never has been. There never has been. So I don't need to be in the experience of expansion or in the experience of just this body. Is you know, what I am in the experience of most of the time is my being. My being, and sometimes the body hurts, and then it's like, okay, let's come and take care of this body. I come fully to the body, but I still come as a being. There's no need for any particular experience. Yeah. It depends. The podcast you're listening to, there might be just like, because there's been such a sway of people not present in the body, there might be just, that's the angle it's taking. But at the end of the day, there never has been a separation anywhere. But if you're not present to your bodily experience, it's very easily that you can cross your own boundaries and allow your boundaries to be crossed, because you disconnect from what's true in you in the moment.
Yeah, it's like your body's like the anchor.
Yeah, yeah, is like the anchor in this human form on this plane in this earth, and yet your anchor really truly is in knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to actually fill up the form with this knowing is an embodied, integrated. It gets all the love, it gets all the care, and there's no attachment to it. Because one day this body's it's bound for ashes to ashes. It all is. So it's without attachment. It's full love and care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, we have this intimate group where we meet I meet with them twice a month, which will be next Sunday. And in between that, they also meet, and also individually, and work together in a way, building a supportive field of everything is committed and dedicated to the living of this. And by coming together as a group, there is an energy field being created in which is a supportive space for growing and unfolding and integrating.